I love these scheduled overnight stops on a single journey. And there are a couple in this travel series of mine. Welcome to Copenhagen, the capital city of the Kingdom of Denmark. And the foodie in me is eager to see what this city offers from a culinary point of view.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
And g'day guys, welcome back to my video, and I'm coming to you from the Clarion Hotel here at Copenhagen Airport. So I'm spending a night here in the Danish capital, and so come along with me to see what I can get up to on this very interesting transit stay. Let's do this.
Everybody just do your thing.
If you're new to my channel, my name's Ryan. Born and bred in Singapore, I now call Australia home. And I create heaps of travel and food-related content. This trip sees us set foot in 5 countries over the course of 2.5 weeks. We stop in China for a first glimpse into an often misunderstood country. And then we set off to the UK, where we'd spend most of our time in Scotland as part of a wedding party. And what an eventful week that was. We then make our way towards Scandinavia, stopping in Denmark, and I pay homage to Sweden because every person alive needs to visit the ABBA Museum and know that the meatballs you have in IKEA taste nothing like the ones in Sweden. We make a brief stop in Finland before heading back to the UK for our extremely long flight back home. This travel series will be filled with flight reports, destination vlogs, and a train journey thrown in for good measure. And these videos will be linked in the description as and when they're published. So make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell icon so you won't miss the next episode coming up. Giving me a like is a good way to support my channel. So here's a thanks because it's very much appreciated. Our journey today really began earlier in Edinburgh, Scotland, where we departed from. Our eventual destination was really Stockholm in Sweden. Scandinavian Airlines offered to take us there with an 18-hour overnight stopover in Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark. We've never been here before, so we thought, what the hell, why not? An evening arrival here, followed by dinner in town. Sleeping overnight before departing tomorrow afternoon is a very comfortable layover. So our hotel of choice was the Clarion Airport Hotel here at Copenhagen International Airport. Depending on when you book, it will cost you between 240 to 270 Australian dollars per night. That's a pretty fair price for an airport hotel in Europe, I think. Copenhagen Airport is located in the suburb of Kastrup. It is Scandinavia's busiest airport, and the Clarion Hotel is connected to the passenger terminal building via a covered walkway, so you'll be protected from the weather. And boy, did we need this protection tomorrow. You saw how light and airy the lobby and central atrium is from the earlier footage. We're now entering our room, which is similarly bright, uncluttered, with pale woods, neutral colors, and large windows. The hotel faces a couple of directions where you'd either face the city, towards the sea, or like us today, we look at the hustle and bustle of the terminal building across the road. One main complaint I have for an airport hotel of this standing is the lack of USB ports. You'd think in this day and age that would be standard. And the lack of universal charging outlets is also pretty glaring. So make sure you have an adapter handy. One of the numerous transport options from Copenhagen Airport is the metro. Copenhagen Metro operates this station here named Lufthavnen, which departs every couple of minutes towards the city. The fare was 30 Danish kroner per person for the stop we were alighting at. These trains operated to the airport are driverless. It's very spacious within, although I didn't see any form of luggage racks. We're on the line M2, which takes us from Lufthavnen towards Venløse. But we're not going that far. Tonight we're disembarking halfway at Christianshavn Station, which is a 15-minute ride. Public transportation is a little interesting in Copenhagen. Taking the train, there are no ticket gantries or any conductors to verify your tickets. For the locals, they download an app from the Department of Transport to load money into it. This app generates a QR code in their phone, which they'll scan on entry and exit from a station, which are devoid of any turnstiles. No one cares if anyone is scanning. So I'm assuming the entire network functions on a trust basis. From here, we are getting in the bus towards our next destination. So let's see what happens there. Off the metro station into Christianshavn, the town square which greeted me as my first impression of Copenhagen city was a curious one. The natural reaction was the excitement of looking at all these beautiful facades of pre-war buildings. Then reality hit, because this city square was filled with people getting high on drugs, hell-bent on saying hello to me. If they weren't high, they were drunk, vomiting, or I didn't realize I caught this on camera then, whatever this couple was up to. They were both clearly out of it and not caring who was watching. I wasn't exactly worried or scared. I was more fascinated than anything else. Bus ride was another mode of transport which made me scratch my head. Since we didn't have the app to scan, and we had no Danish kroners with us, how were we going to pay? Once the bus arrived and the doors hissed open, everyone was boarding from both doors, and perhaps 1 or 2 passengers scanned their phones to get on. Everyone else just walked into the bus like it was an everyday thing. So I asked the bus driver, "How do I pay?" His reply, "Nothing is working today, so you ride for free." Okay. Most first-time visitors to Copenhagen would most likely head towards Nyhavn for the beautiful canals and restaurants lining it, or go take a selfie with their poor mermaid, which has been perched on that rock since like forever. In the limited time I had in this city, I needed to be strategic. I wanted to eat. So for this, we head towards the suburb of Reffen.
My first bus ride in Denmark. Apparently there is a soccer game going on, so a lot of people are singing on the bus and they're getting off here to go to the game. I think this is what's happening. So it's a very festive atmosphere on the bus. So now we're trying to look for Reffen. That's where the food place is. Wish me luck.
A point to note though, that Uber doesn't operate in Copenhagen. Ride-hailing apps center around these companies, and one of the locals who struck up a conversation with me said most of them just took the bus or ride a bicycle because taxis are crazy expensive. Reffen is really an island, and it's a formal industrial area which has seen better times. Besides heavy industries and steelworks, it also functioned as a shipyard until 1996 when the company managing it went bankrupt. As with most abandoned industrial areas, it has remained untouched in parts, but one section has got my attention because of what it is. Welcome to Reffen, Copenhagen's street food market. On the website, it did say this location closes at 8:30 p.m. normally. When we checked again earlier today, it said 11 p.m. Just as well. And being so far north, the sun never really sets in summer. So this is perfect to take on all the festive vibes this market brings. The best way to describe this market is colorful and pulsating. Reffen houses a lot of art galleries, design houses, rowdy sports bars, so there's really this bohemian undertone to it all. This feel, unsurprisingly, extends into the food market. Live music fills the air, while you meander through these alleyways trying to decide on what to eat, which is a lot harder than it seems.
Oh my god. As usual with every food market you come to, the challenge is deciding what to eat. I have my eyes set on an Iranian stall that I saw somewhere back there. But the further I walk, the more I want to eat, the more I want to try different stuff. So we'll see what happens.
First things first, getting a table to stake our ground before we head off separately to buy our food. It is now slightly past 9 PM on the 29th of June, and the sun is clearly not going away anytime soon. This is absolutely perfect. I mentioned about the Iranian food stall I set my sights on, and here we are tonight. For dinner, I'm going to try this for the first time, korme sabzi. It is a herb stew filled to the brim with dried lime, fresh herbs, and spinach, simmered in a pot with chunks of protein. And this one I have here is one of my favorite proteins of all time, lamb. There is a reason why korme sabzi is known as the king of Persian stews. There is a very earthy, rustic, savory note with a very slight sharp tang at the end, which I suspect comes from that dried lime. The combination of fenugreek, coriander, parsley, and other herbs gives it a healthy richness which isn't heavy like a traditional Western stew. It is a very comforting and Moorish dish. Hubby's choice was a chicken shawarma wrap. With the typical Middle Eastern spices incorporated into it, you cannot go wrong with this flavorful choice for a meal. Of course, trust me to steal a chip from him like a sky rat. We got off the plane a couple of hours ago after having spent almost a week in the UK. During that time, can you believe I did not once get a serve of fish and chips? So to make up for lost time, here I am. And making up for lost time I was. I got some spring rolls from the stall next to the fish and chips, and here we are. I suppose wishing there was some smashed peas and vinegar would be asking for too much, eh? Who doesn't like crispy fried fish? Light, golden, crunchy batter and fluffy chips to finish everything off. Very satisfying. The both of us were clearly not watching our diets tonight. And we end the evening with a dessert of waffles, accompanied by strawberries and ice cream. This is pure decadence to the max. What an amazing experience Reffen has turned out to be. Amazing food, amazing people, and amazing location. While there were very little surprises with the food for such a location, I was hoping to see more traditional Danish fare like smørrebrød, an opened face sandwich, or the frikadelle, a type of meatball. No spoilers though, because I did find these dishes I mentioned further in our trip in Sweden, since there are a lot of culinary overlaps in Scandinavia.
And just like that, we are done with the Reffen Food Street Market. So now we're gonna try and figure out our way back to the airport. That's where our hotel is situated. So I will say goodbye to you here, and I'll talk to you tomorrow when I wake up. Yeah.
Once back at the hotel, the TV channel was most interesting. This late at night, there was a channel featuring sleeping people, stuffed animals, and people dressed as animals. All the while, there is a very soft soundtrack of a light snoring going on. If this is some sort of ASMR therapy, it's working for me because it's quite relaxing, as strange and bizarre as this all looked. Welcome to day number 2. It's always great to begin a brand new day on your travels with an extensive hotel buffet breakfast. In this respect, Clarion Hotel does not disappoint. I mean, just look at that spread. I did not even know where to start. You had eggs two ways, either soft-boiled or scrambled. If this wasn't to your liking, there was an omelette station behind me. bacon. Life is always better with bacon, especially fatty bacon. Can you tell how much I love bacon? The sign said pancakes, but they looked more like crepes though. When in Denmark, of course there's Danish pastry. And here's a little trivia. The Danish name is wienerbrød, which translates into Vienna bread. So the origins of Danish pastry is really Austrian. We round off the warm bit with chicken sausages and baked beans. These yogurt glasses definitely looked very inviting. If you're into cereal, then this is your section, but that's not me. Because I had my eyes on this. What is Scandinavia without these delicious smoked meats? A couple of these slices were definitely ending up on my plate. This brekkie buffet at Claren Hotel surely set our day up very nicely afterwards as we prepared to bid goodbye to Denmark. This is perhaps a great time to wrap this video up with a small summary. One of the reasons why I was so excited to visit Copenhagen for the first time, it's because they've been ranked as the happiest city on earth. Supposedly, Denmark ranks highly on social equality and community spirit. During our short few hours here, the carefree nature of Copenhagen was most underscored by the people I met on the bus ride. Since we were all squeezed together like a sardine can, strangers around me were chatting with each other, including me into their conversations. Curious about my background and constant filming, one of them even asked for my channel to subscribe. On the way back to the airport, another lady just told us to follow her as she taught us how to navigate the public bus from Ravshalun back to the metro station. And that's where she explained how no one really pays for public transport. Ultimately, the overall reception was warm and hospitable, including the ones who were high and drunk at Christian Sound City Square. At the end of the day, this overnight transit stop was way too short for me to properly understand the nuances of Danish life with proper context, which is why I would love to return and properly soak in Copenhagen. Until then, it's time for me to bid you farewell as we head to Sweden for our next phase of this travel series. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon. The best way for you to support my channel for free is to give me a like. Until then, tusind tak og hej hej!